Hello everybody, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. For this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make another variation of my Hugs and Kisses bracelet. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, I have been on YouTube for 14 years now, this October, and I made a bracelet called the Hugs and Kisses bracelet. It was a really popular design. It has well over 500,000 views. The pattern looks like XOXO, so that's why I called it that. If you don't know the design I'm talking about, I'll put a picture up now. Now, that was such an awesome bracelet. And it wasn't that it had a lot of views and attention, but just how it was designed was so cool. And so over the years, I have taken that XO pattern and I have done different variations of that bracelet, and a lot of you probably don't even realize that. So I have wrote down the bracelet, the original bracelet, Hugs and Kisses bracelet, and I wrote down 3 other designs that I have made from the idea of that bracelet, and this here is going to be the 4th design. So in all, it's actually 5 bracelets, all from one idea. Okay, so the second bracelet I ended up doing was the Glorious bracelet, and that was done with 2-hole beads. If you don't know that bracelet design, I'll put a picture up now. And I'm going to show you all of these tutorials that I have done over the years. In case if you like any of these bracelet designs, you can go and watch these tutorials, okay? Another one I did was called the Mermaid Watch bracelet. That was also another variation of the Hugs and Kisses pattern, so I'll put a picture for that. And as you can see, I made that one with really small beads. It was so cute. And I also did a bracelet called a flower bracelet, and that one was over the top. It was epic. I love that design, so I'll put a picture up for that. Alright, so for this tutorial, I'm going to do the Hugs and Kisses pattern again, but in between the Hugs and Kisses pattern, I have created another design, and it's really cool. And if you like the design that I'm doing in between the Hugs and Kisses patterns, you can actually just do a bracelet with the 6mm beads that I use in between the Hugs and Kisses pattern, but you will need a lot of beads. There's a lot of beads in this bracelet, okay? Now, a lot of you are probably already going to have beads from your stash to make this design, and I'm going to go over the different sizes, shapes I'm using, and I'm going to tell you alternatives in case you don't have the beads that I have. But I am using a subscription box to make this bracelet, and this is the second design that I am doing with the subscription box. So the box that I'm talking about, in case you're interested, is the Sam's Bead Box. This is called Marigold Memory, and this box was for October 2025. I made a necklace design. It was a huge tutorial. It took like a week for me to edit this video. There was a second necklace that I showed in that video that was like safari themed, and so I'll put a picture up of both of them. Alright, so if you want, you can go get this box. They sell past boxes, and you can make this necklace and the bracelet that I'm about to show you. And you're still going to have all of these beads left over, which is a lot of beads, okay? So I will link the box down there below in the description bar, and I have a coupon code to get $5 off the box in case you want it. The code is BEAD5, that's all capital letters, BEAD 5, and you will see the info down there below in the description bar, alright? So let's go over the materials. In case you're new to my YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe, because I have done tutorials for 14 years now, and I don't see me stopping unless my camera dies and I can't replace it. Whenever I get a subscription box, I put a rule on myself to mainly use what I get in the box, because if anybody gets the box, they can make the same exact piece of jewelry that I'm making. And I think that's really cool. And so when I started working on this project, I started working with these beads here. These are like 10, actually they're closer to 11 millimeter amethyst coin shaped beads. Look how thick they are. They are beautiful quality. They have nice holes. And so I started weaving with them, and I have tried making this bracelet like 10 different ways. I've actually gone a little crazy from this bracelet, but I have now perfected the design, and so I'm going to show you guys my results, okay? And so these here came in the box, and I tried so hard to use them, but because of how the Hugs and Kisses pattern is, they do not want to stay laying flat. They want to flip like this, and it would be okay if they stayed like this because I think it looks good, but it then does this thing where it will flip again and it just rolls. I have actually had to eliminate them from the bracelet because I want the bracelet to be awesome, and so I did have to get these beads here from my stash, which everybody should pretty much have. They are just 10 millimeter round beads. These are amethyst. They're beautiful, nice quality. But I'm using 5 of those from my stash. The other thing I'm using from my stash is 2 jump rings, 2 size 10 bead needles, and a beading thread. I'm using Berkeley Nanofill, which is pretty much like Fireline, 8-pound, my favorite size, 8-pound. I also love 10. But it's harder to find, and I don't have it on hand. I have a lot of 8-pounds, so I will be using that, okay? So, yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I had to swap these beads out because the coin beads were just not cooperating, okay? So, let's go over the whole list. I am using 8.5 feet of the 8-pound thread, okay? And we will be folding it in half, so I have to use 2 size 10 beading needles in order to weave it. I'm using 5 10 millimeter round beads. I'm using 16 6 millimeter Czech fire polish beads. Now you do want to stay with rounds for this one here, but for this one you can just do all round, like they don't have to be fire polish. They could probably also be bicones, so you can play around with the shapes, okay? I'm using 18 6 millimeter Czech druks, and you don't have to use druks. You can use like regular pearls if you want to. It is up to you. I'm also using 10 Czech button flower beads. Now these are super special, but you do not have to use these beads to make this bracelet. My original design does not have these in it, but what is important is the size of this bead. So I think it's like close to 3 millimeter from hole to hole, and that's what, yeah, it's kind of close to 3 millimeter. Gosh, it's like so, depends on where you're grabbing it at. So from hole to hole, it's about a 3 millimeter bead. You might even be able to get away with like 8 seed beads if you don't have 3 millimeters to replace that button bead. But I've always wanted to make something with these, so I'm really excited that they work for this project, and they don't move around, they stay in place. Alright. You're also going to need 34 millimeter Czech druks. Now they don't have to be druks again. They can be any 4 millimeter bead. It can be a fire polish. It can be a bicone. It could probably even be rondelles. So totally play around with the shapes to get different looking designs. Okay. I'm also using 43 millimeter Czech lucerna bicones. Again, they do not have to be lucerna bicones. They can be any 3 millimeter bead. This Hugs and Kisses design is so cool because it's very versatile. You can use different shapes in beads, different shapes of beads. Okay, I'm also using 11O Miyuki seed beads. I'm using the nickel plated color. It's kind of hard to read. Okay, and I'm using a lot of them, and I'm using 2 colors. Now this here color was in the subscription box. This is from my stash. These seed beads are from my stash. I really love this. It's like capri blue. So pretty. I wanted to use these teardrops so bad in the bracelet, but I didn't have enough, and so I thought, let's just change out, because I have it in seed beads, let's just change the bead out for a color that I have in my stash in seed beads. So does that make sense? That's what I did. Okay, and you're also going to need a clasp, and I'm using this clasp. It came in the box. It's a toggle, And it does have this gap here, this design, which kind of elongates the bracelet, so the finished bracelet is going to be like 8 inches. If you want it to be smaller, I recommend that you do a lobster claw clasp as a closure. Alright, so this is the list of materials. Let's go ahead and get started. It's going to be a blast. Alright, so I put my 8.5 feet of thread onto my needles, and I made sure that I have the same amount of tail length on both sides so that I have even on both sides. So I don't run out on one side, right? Now I'm going to pick up my clasp, and I do have a jump ring on this, so I don't have to pick it up now. I can actually do it later, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it now since I closed my jump ring. I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads and slide these down. And then on each needle, I'm going to pick up 1 lucerna bicone. And then I'm going to pick up 1 11/0 seed bead on each needle. Okay, does that make sense? Now I'm going to pick up a 6mm druk round bead, and I'm going to crisscross through it. And the pattern that I'm making right now is the Hugs and Kisses pattern, the XO pattern. Okay, so I just make sure these are even, and I hold this bead here, and I bring it down to the center of my thread. And it's not quite center, so I'm going to just adjust it a little bit. There it is. Okay. I'm going to separate my needles. And I just got a little bit of tangling here. Okay. I'm trying to show you what I got. So I have this. That's my closure area. Okay. Now I'm going to pick up a seed bead. I'm going to do all metallic starting out, and I do the top with the blue. I'm going to do a 11/0 on each side, a lucerna bicone on each side, okay, another 11/0 on each side, like this. Slide those down the needle, and then pick up a 4mm. I'm doing the orange druk. And then your round, your 10mm round. I'm going to crisscross my ends through this bead. Okay. Hold tight, and this is what you should have. Okay. Now I'm going to do the reverse of this. So I'm going to pick up a druk on each side, an 11/0 on each side, a lucerna on each side, and an 11/0. Like this. Slide these down. I love the next part. It's so cool. Pick up a 6mm and crisscross through this bead. Okay, and I'm just going to hold this bead and pull this side through, and then vice versa. Hold this through, and here we go. This is the Hugs and Kisses pattern. We still have to add the flowers between the orange beads and then do the X's on top. So this bracelet, we make it like this. We go to this side, put the clasp on, we go back to this side filling in the sides, and then we go back over it to embellish the top. So we're going to be going through it 3 times in total, which makes it more durable because it strengthens it. So that's what I have now, okay? Now I'm going to pick up, with both needles on each side, an 11/0. And by the way, these are Miyuki, but these ones are actually Czech. So you can mix Miyuki and Czech. They work together. But I haven't been able to mix Miyuki with Toho. Toho are like taller, they're wider beads. So I have an 11 on each side. And I'm going to pick up a Czech fire polish bead, or bicone, or rondelle, or round, whatever shape you want. Okay, like this. Slide these beads down. Pick up 1 11/0. I usually do it with my right hand because I'm right-handed. and I'm going to crisscross my left needle through that bead. Okay, and then I'm going to bring this bead down. So I have this. Okay, so pull that tight. On my right side, I'm going to pick up an 11/0, a 6mm, an 11/0, a 6mm druk, and an 11/0. Just like this. Slide these down all the way. Okay. And I'm going to zoom in for this. Okay, I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to go through this 6mm bead here, but I'm also going to go through this 11 that I just added. This one right here, so I feel like I'm still not close enough. See that? That 11 I added? So I go through. Okay. And it's going to loop around. See that? And we now have this. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did here to the left side. So again, I'm going to pick up one 11/0, not that bead, it's rolling out, my 6mm fire polish, one 11/0, my druk, and an 11/0. The same pattern again. Okay, slide these all the way down. See this? Take the needle, pass through this 6mm and the seed bead that you just added there. Okay, see that right there? So I just go like this. And it closes up. Okay, so that's what I now have. I'm going to separate my needles again. And I'm fixing to tighten this up by picking up 111. I'm going to zoom back out just a tad. I pick up an 11. Okay, I'm going to crisscross my left needle through my right there. And I'm bringing this down. Trying to hold it like this. Okay. And all of this is going to tighten up for me, and it's actually going to make a pyramid shape. But I need to pay attention to which side the pyramid is going to be on. So I pull this tight and see how it's starting to take on a dimensional shape. I'm going to take the left needle and I'm going to sew through this fire polish here on the left. Okay, and then I'm going to take the right needle and sew through the fire polish here on the right. So hopefully you can see that clearly. This is now what I have. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out. I'm going to pick up 11/0 seed bead on each needle. 111 on each side. Pick up the 6mm druk and crisscross the ends through this bead. Okay. Just bringing it down. Now see how it just flipped that way? I want this to be the top, so I'm going to force it to stay like this. So do you see how it's now dimensional? It's tall and it's standing up like a pyramid. So that's what I have. I'm going to make this pattern again, and then after I make this again, I'll make this again. And I think I'm going to do this 2 more times here, going, I think it's almost halfway through the bracelet, and then I'll fast forward and I'll let you continue repeating these steps until I get to the end, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this part here again. So to see what I have to do next, like I always do, I look back, I'm here, I have to do this pattern now, so I'm actually here when I look here. So I have to pick up an 11 on each side, a bicone on each side, 11 on each side, and then the orange bead. And then I crisscross through that bead to repeat this pattern. Okay, so an 11, a bicone, an 11, an orange 4mm, so it's a 3mm, 4mm, like that. Slide these down, pick up my next 10mm bead, crisscross through it, and as you go, you have to make sure that you pull it tight and keep your tension, because it will loosen up back here and you don't want it to. Okay, so next is a 4mm on each side. Remember I said we're reversing the pattern now. An 11-0 on each side, a bicone on each side, an 11-0 like this. Pick up a 6mm bead and cross through it. Oh my gosh. It's twisting around my thread, but oh, it doesn't matter. Let me see. Is it going to twist down here? Yes, it is. So it's kind of tying a knot inside my bead, so I'm just going to untwist it. Okay, and there we go. No more twisting inside of that bead. Okay, pull that tight, and now I have to repeat this pattern here. Okay, so I'm going to pick up an 11-0 on each needle, a 6mm, slide them down, an 11-0, and crisscross through this bead. Okay, I should now have this, pulling it tight. That's what I have. And now on each needle I'm going to pick up 111, one 6mm, 111, 6mm in the druk. This thread, I don't want it to get twisted. Come back, everybody get back on the needle. Okay. Like this. 11-0, a 6mm fire polish, an 11-0, 6mm druk, and 11-0. Slide these down, all the way down to the bracelet. Okay? And my little seed bead, there he goes. Okay. On this side, there goes the seed bead. Okay. I'm going to take the needle, pass through this fire polish, not the seed bead here, just the fire polish, and through the first seed bead, or the last seed bead. No, it's the first. It's the first I picked up in that row, that's right. So like this. Okay? Hold it and pull this through, and it's going to make a circle like this with your thread. See that? And now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I have a knot trying to be tied here. I think I have to go this way through it. Okay. Slide these down. Take the needle, go through the 6mm fire polish and through the seed bead here that we added like that. Okay, pull this through. And separate my needle and thread there. I'm going to pull that down, trying to make it tight, but it doesn't really tighten up until I do this seed bead here. So I have to pick up one 11-0 and I'm going to crisscross through it. Okay. See right there? I just brought that down. Now if you pull this and put your thumbs here, adjust these, it'll tighten it up. Do you see that? It just tightened it up. Now I'm going to take the left needle, go through the fire polish here that is on the left side. See how that thread just went into that bead? Okay, and then take the right side and go through this fire polish. Like this. And then with both needles pick up one 11-0. Okay, and then a 6mm and cross through this bead. Okay, and remember, see how it's wanting to puff down because of gravity? I'm going to make this puff upward and pull this tight. And there we go. So halfway through the bracelet is actually going to be another one of these. So I have 5 of them in the bracelet, the amethyst beads. Okay, so there will be 4 of these. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to make 3 more of these, okay, and 2 more of these. And when I get to the end for my closure, I'll come back and show you how to do the end. So if you have any trouble, just rewind the video. So like right now, if you're confused on what to do next, you would rewind the video to when I came out of this bead. And you would repeat this pattern, and then keep watching and you would repeat this. And then you can rewind it again if you need to, but you probably won't have to. It is pretty simple. Okay? So that's what I have so far. I'm going to pull this tight, and I'm going to fast forward. Alright, so I have made it all the way down here. As you can see, I have 5 amethyst beads and then 4 groupings of the fuchsia Czech fire polish beads. Now I have to do the clasp area, and so to do that I do my right needle and I do an 11-0, a bicone, 3 11s, my clasp, and a bicone, and 1 11, like this. Okay, I usually just do a loop of seed beads, but I thought let's make this decorative and do the bicones down here, so that's what I did. Okay, I'm going to slide these down. I'm going to take my left needle and I'm going to crisscross through all these beads like this. Okay, and then I pull the needles apart and I slide all of these down. Okay, I'm going to turn the bracelet so it's like this, and I'm going to swap my left and right needle, and I'm going to try and work in this direction. Can you see? I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so this is what I have. I'm going to take my needle and I'm actually going to go straight through these beads right here. Okay, so I'm putting a thread path right here on the side of the 6mm bead. Now it's loose, it's going to get tightened up. So I go like this, okay, pull that tight, and then I do the same thing with the other needle. I go through, coming out this 11, I go through this 11, the 11, the lucerna bicone 11, and the orange around there. Okay, and I just pull all of my thread through. Okay, and I'm going to stop and I have to make everything tight. So I usually grab both of my threads and I pull them tight and I adjust, hold this here and I adjust this. Okay. I feel like I have to pull one at a time, really. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out and we're going to fill in the sides of the bracelet, and I think I'm just going to like move my beads here, just put them all in the pile, really. Okay, so I'm going to pick up a flower bead and it's going to sit right here. I'm going to stitch through this, the threads coming out of this orange bead. I'm going to go through these beads just like this. Okay, and hopefully this will help tighten up the bracelet because I feel like it's not really tight. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, like that. I'm going to do the other side, left side, pick up a flower and stitch through the orange, the seed bead, the bicone, and the seed bead. And that bead just pops right into place. Okay. Now I'm going to go through this 6mm, just the 6mm, not the seed beads. Okay, take my right needle and go through this bead. We're crisscrossing through the 6mm only, not the seed beads. It might want to go through seed beads, so back it out. Okay, now I'm going to stop and pull my threads tight. Okay, these will want to sit up when we are done, but they will be flopping all over the place while you're doing this. Okay, now can you see what I'm doing? Okay, I'm going to go through this 11-0 seed bead, the one that's beside the 6mm. I'm going to pick up a lucerna bicone, just this bead, and I'm going to go through this 11-0, the 6mm, and the 11-0. Okay, we're filling in gaps, and these beads that we are putting in are going to help us decorate the top. Like that. See how it sits in between those two beads? Pick up another lucerna bicone, and I'm going to go through this 11-0 and through the druk. Like that. Okay. Pop that bead into place there. And now I'm over here. So what was I doing before? I went up through these beads, the 11, the lucerna bicone, and the orange bead. Okay. And I pick up a flower, the orange, the 11, the lucerna, and the 11, like this. And I'm filling in this gap. And again, if you don't have the button flowers, use a 3mm bead, or maybe even an 8-0 seed bead in place there. You have to sew through the 6mm only, like that. Okay. And I think I'm going to stitch halfway through the bracelet. Go through this 11-0 here and show you what I'm doing here. The 1 11-0. Pick up the lucerna bicone And I'm going to put it right here. I have to go through this 11, the 6mm, and the 11. Okay, and that just pops right in between those seed beads. Pick up another 3mm and pop it right here. Go through the 11 and the 6mm bead, like this. And pop this bead into place. Okay, so pull that tight. And that's what I have. So you could see how I filled this side in. I have not filled that side in yet. And we're basically doing like a figure 8 type thing. So I pick those up crisscross, okay, and then I'm weaving around here, putting in lucerne bicones, and then I pick up the flower and I come around, I put in the lucerne bicones, I'm coming back around, okay, and I'm now halfway through the bracelet, so I have to go through these here and put in another flower. Okay, that's what I would do. But I'm going to stop and do the left side because I want you to see what it looks like with both sides filled. Okay, so I'm on the left side. I actually took the thread from the right, went through here, now it's on the left. I'm going to go through this seed bead. The one that's up here, not the one below that's by the 3mm lucerne bicone, but this one here. Okay. Pick up a bicone, or whatever 3mm bead you're using. Go through the 11, the 6, and the 11. Those 3 beads. And this bead will pop into place. Just like that. Okay, I'm turning my bracelet around. I'm going to put another one here. So go through this seed bead, through the 6mm bead, like this, and pop this bead into place, like that. I'm going to sew through this 11, 3mm, 11, to the orange. Okay, so this is what I have so far. See this little corners? They add corners, it's like a square. Okay, I'm going to pick up a flower through these beads here. Okay, apologize for the barking dogs. There's no telling what's going to happen. Couldn't imagine doing live streams. I don't think it's possible. I'm going through the 6mm bead only, like that. And I'm going to put the lucerne bicones in right here. So through this one seed bead, don't forget that one seed bead you have to go through. Okay, pick up a bicone or whatever 3mm bead again through these beads here. And come on. I try to get through all one shot. Like that. 11, 6mm, 11. Pop this bead into place. Pull it tight. See the 4 corners with the lucerne bicones. Okay, I'm now here. I have to pick up another lucerne bicone, and I'm going to go through this 11-0 and through the 6mm. And pop this bead into place. And then I'm going to go through these here, and I'm going to put my flower in. So I'm now halfway through the bracelet, and I'm just going to keep going. I now have to do the flower. I'm going to get all the way to the other side, and I will come back and show you what to do next. I am at the end of my bracelet, and I just added that flower bead there, and I'm going through these beads like I usually do after the flower bead. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It's really cool. If you want, you could stop here. You could make just this bracelet like as it is. You can wear it as it is, but I like to deck it out with seed beads. I like to go all the way, so I'm just pulling these threads tight, and I have to reposition them. So I'm going to take and straighten out my needles here. I'm going to take the right side, and I'm going to go up through these 11-0, lucerna 11-0 through the clasp. Okay, and I'm just stitching around, so I have to go through 2 11s, lucerna. Okay, like that. Through that seed bead, this one seed bead. Oh, I have a little slip knot. Okay, so pull that through. Just like this. Now, this is my left thread, it's going that way. Okay, I just took my right thread coming out of these beads. I went around here. I'm now going to take the needle and go through these 6mm druk, just the druk. Okay, preparing to embellish the top. So my thread is now ready, but I have to reposition my other thread. Now I have a thread path here between these 2 seed beads, but this side doesn't have that yet. So that's what I have to make. That is reinforcing the side, making it stronger. So with the left needle now, the opposite needle, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go up through these beads. Come on. Do the 11-0, lucerna, 2 11-0s, through the clasp, through the 11 and the lucerna, and the 11 on the other side. Okay, so we're repositioning, we're also reinforcing. Now my threads meet. I'm going to put this needle now through the round bead, which now means that my threads are crisscrossing out of the 6mm bead. Okay, and then I just grab both of them and I pull them really tight. Okay, we are now ready to embellish the top. This is what it looks like. Super cool. Okay, I have to get my needles right. Okay, I've had knots tie on me like multiple times while filming this, but I didn't have that problem when I made the bracelet the first 10 times. I really did make it like 10 times, I'm not exaggerating. I have changed it so much, and I just kept having issues because of those coin beads. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna have to just take them out. So look at how the flowers are laying. You see the flowers are laying up. I have not repositioned them. They lay up. Isn't that beautiful? They're so cool. I've always wanted to use these, but I've never had enough to make something with them. I've only had a couple of, you know, this color, a couple of that color, but there's a bunch of these. There's still leftovers in the box. Okay, you know what? It's possible that there's enough leftovers to make another bracelet. You just might need a few more beads. Now for the top, I don't know why, but my throat is bothering me. Don't know why. It's because I'm filming, that's why. I'm going to pick up, I think it's Capri Blue, this color, seed bead. I'm going to pick up one on each side, and then I'm going to pick up a metallic seed bead on each side. Okay. Now, this top here is really picky. I have tried embellishing the top several different ways. This is the best way, and I'll tell you why when I get there. I just picked up a 4mm. I'm going to cross through it, okay? Bring this down. So those coin beads, they were really teeter-tottering on me a lot. Okay, so I just picked up these and I pull the threads apart, bring this down. We're now making the X's on top of the bracelet, hence the Hugs and Kisses pattern. Okay, now I'm going to do an 11-0 on each side and 4 of the second color. Yeah, so it's actually 5 beads. One of them is metallic, and then 4 of the blue color. Slide these down. Okay. And I'm going to take the needle, and I've done this different ways. I believe in the original Hugs and Kisses pattern, I would crisscross these needles through the middle bead. I'm not sure. I've done it different ways, or it could be the way I'm going to do it now. Now, I'm going to go through the flower bead. So if you bend the bracelet like this, the flower bead sticks up and the hole is exposed, and you just pass the needle right through that bead. Okay? And don't get it caught on the other side of your bracelet like I just did. Pull that through. Okay? And it's making an X pattern. I'm going to do the same thing with the other needle on the left side. Bend the bracelet like this so that the flower sticks up, and just go through the flower bead. Okay, and here we go. We get this X pattern. Okay, now it's trying to get loose on me. It's going to tighten up. So I'm going to do this again. On each needle, pick up 4 of the blue, okay, a silver on each side, or whatever color you want, a 4mm bead, and we're going to crisscross through this. Okay, stop, and I'm going to pull this tight. Now see how this surrounds the bead? I have tried doing 3 blue, 1 silver instead of the 4, okay, on the sides, and what it does is it pushes the purple bead, the 10mm bead, it pushes it down and it protrudes out the back of the bracelet big time, like that. Do you see that? So the way I'm doing it here with 4 blue and then a silver, it protrudes upward on top of the bracelet. So that's why I'm doing this bead count. So it's important that you do the same seed bead count that I'm doing. Now on each side, pick up 111 in the silver and a blue. So yeah, with less seed beads, it forces the large decorative bead, you know, or like focal there, it forces it to the back side of the bracelet, and it just looks ridiculous. Now I'm going to take the needle and cross through this 6mm bead, and I love this next part so much. It's really cool. Take the left needle, go through the same 6mm bead only. Okay. Stop. Pull both of your strings. Just popping these beads into place here, making sure this is adjusted, and this is what you should have. Okay. Also, because this is going to be rounded, do you see how the purple bead is now even coming out the front and the back? So it really forced it out the back before. Okay. Now I'm going to do what will look like a netting on top of this here, okay? So with my right needle, I'm going to pick up 3 blue 11s, 1 silver, and 2 blue. Like this. Slide these down. I'm gonna go at an angle through this silver seed bead. Just the one. See that? Okay. I have to take the needle and go through the silver seed bead here on the right side. And I'm going to pick up beads again. I'm going to pick up 2 blue, a silver, and 3 blue. Again, I'm going at an angle. I'm going to go, I think it was this way. Yeah, it's this way. I go this way, stitching towards myself. Okay. Like this. And then I'm going to pick up 3 blue. And I'm going to go through this silver and the 2 blue. Like that. Put your finger over it and pull your needle through. It makes a Y pattern. Now I have to reposition my needle and go through the same silver seed bead on the side right there, like that. Okay. And then this will tighten it up. So put your thumb on it and pull it tight. It should look like that. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to go to the left side. I'm going to pick up 3 blue. Again, I'm right-handed, so I have to do this with my right hand. I'm going to go through the silver bead into the 2 blue. Again, put your finger over it because if you don't, it will loosen up. Pull your thread through there. Okay. Take the needle and go through the silver seed bead right here. Pull that tight. It's flying all around like hockey or something. Like this. Take the needle, go up through the left seed bead now. We're going to do the left side. Okay. I'm going to stop and pull this thread tight. Looks good. I'm going to pick up those beads again. The 2 blue, 1 silver, 1 and 3 blue. 6 beads in total, but this is the pattern. Again, I'm going to go towards myself. I'm going to go through the 6mm bead only. Okay. It's going to be like this. I'm going to pick up 3 blue, go up to the silver and the 2 blue, put your thumb on it. Like that, and sew up through the silver. Pull that tight. Take the needle now. We're going to crisscross through this silver bead. Like that. Take the other needle and go through the silver bead. So now we are crisscrossing. We're back to having a left and right needle. Okay, stop and pull your threads tight, and then take one of your needles, and I usually do the right one because it's my dominating hand. Pick up 2 blue, 1 silver, and 3 blue. I'm on the right side, so I have to go at an angle like this, so I'm going to go through like this. Okay, put the needle in the pad, take the left needle, sew down through the 2 blue and the silver, put your thumb on it, pull this through, pick up 3 blue, like this, and go through the 6mm only, no seed beads. Okay. I'm going to do this 2 more times and then I'll fast forward. So grab the ends or the threads and pull them tight. Now if you look, sometimes, not all the time, actually didn't really have it that often, but see how this here looks crooked? So to fix that, I'm just going to put my needle in here and turn the bead. It actually works, it straightens it out. Just a little trick. Okay, now I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do this pattern again here. So remember, it is one blue, one silver. Other needle, one blue, one silver. Okay, we're doing the XO pattern. We're making the X's, the purple bead is our O. I'm going to pick up an orange bead, crisscross through this bead. Okay, a silver, and 4 blue on each needle. Slide them down. Remember, this is going to go through the flower beads, so you just fold the bracelet like this. You just pinch it. That bead pops up, and you can go through the hole really easily. Okay, so there's the left side. Here's the right side. I'll lay this down. Okay. I'm going to pick up 4 blue, 2, 3, 4, and a silver. Slide that down. On the left side, pick up 4 blue and a silver. Pick up the orange bead and cross through here. Stop, pull this tight. I like to push the beads into position because sometimes they just look a little squirrely. Grab that flower there, give it a little tug. Okay, and then I go back to 1 silver, 1 blue, and I go through the 6mm bead. Okay, take the left thread, 1 silver, 1 blue, through the 6mm bead. Stop. Pull these tight. Okay. I'm back at this part again here. So I pick up 3 blue, 1 silver, 2 blue. Like this. Slide them down. I use that silver bead as like a marker. We're going to sew through at an angle. So like this. I go through the silver bead. Now sew through the bead on the right. Okay. Pick up 2 blue, a silver, and 3 blue. I'm going to sew towards myself by going through the 6mm bead only, not the 11s. Okay, pull it tight. Pick up 3 blue, go up through the silver and the 2 blue, put your thumb on it. Okay, go back up to the silver bead. I'm going to go through this silver bead on the top to reposition myself for later. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to go to the other string. Thread, do the same thing. 3 blue, So through the silver and the 2 blue, put your thumb over it. Okay, go through the silver seed bead like that. Go through the silver seed bead over here. Okay, now I'm underneath, so I'm gonna go like that. Make sure this isn't twisted. Okay, now I have this. I'm gonna pick up 2 blue, I'm on the left side, a silver, and 3 blue, and get that out of my way. Remember, I sewed down through the 6mm only, not the seed beads, but I sewed going towards myself. Okay, like that. Pick up 3. Go up the silver and the 2 blue. Put your thumb on it so it doesn't loosen up. Take the needle, go through the silver seed bead again. Take the needle and crisscross through this bead here. That is my alarm. I gotta lock the chickens up. Okay. Crisscross through this bead. That's what we just did. We crisscrossed through it. Okay. Now I'm gonna pick up, I'll do my right, 2 seed beads. 1, 2 blue, 1 silver, 3 blue, like this, and go through the purple bead. Again, I'm going at an angle like this. Pull the needle through, the beads sit at an angle, put the needle on the mat, get my other needle, sew down through the 2 blue and the silver, put your thumb on it, pull that through, pick up 3, okay, like this, and crisscross through that 6mm. Okay, see how the threads got a little loose here, so I just go like this and pull them tight. Okay, and again, if your seed beads in the middle go a little crooked on you, you could totally take your needle and just straighten them out. I like them straight. Okay, like that. And I'm now about halfway through the bracelet. That purple bead there marks the center. So that's it. You keep going doing this. I'm going to do this part again, so if you need any help, all you have to do is rewind back to when I came out of this bead and I started picking up the seed beads here. Okay, so you can rewind back to that and you'll be right here, and you're going to repeat the same steps all over again. And when you get over here to this bead, I'll show you how to finish the bracelet off. Alright? But that is it. Isn't that cool? It's really pretty. I'm back, and I'm putting in my last silver and blue seed bead, crisscrossing my needles like I usually do through this 6mm bead, crisscrossing, stopping, pulling the needles, pulling the thread tight. I go like this And I pull the flowers downward like this so that the beads pop into place. Okay, pulling this tight. And now I have to tie knots. So I'm going to reposition my needle by going through the clasp area again. So coming out of the 6mm, you want to sew up through the 11/0, the bicone, the 11/0, like this, through the closure here. I guess I could have done a little bit more thread. Again, I did 8.5 feet. I could have done 9 to do more reinforcing. But it is, I think it's about 6 inches on each side. That's what I thought it would be. Okay, now through these 2 seed beads. And I'm going to try to come out in front of the bicone. Come on. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay, like that. This one's ready to tie knots. But I think before I do that, I want to reposition this thread. So I'm going to go through these beads just like I did to the other needle. Okay. And then go down. I'm coming out right here. I'm going to sew down. Okay. Through this seed bead. Alright. I'm going to stop. Pull my threads tight in case they loosened up. Okay, now I'm going to tie knots. Now when you look at this, it might look like this is too open here, and I felt like that. Like, see how there's room around the bead? Okay? Do you see that? But when you wear it, so when I tried it on, the big bead popped forward more, and that kind of goes away. Do you get what I'm saying? See? The purple bead pops forward more, like it's a cabochon. So when I had less blue beads, when I did 3 instead of 4, the purple beads were popping to the back of the bracelet big time, and it did not look right. And now I'm going to tie my knots. I took the one needle off the end because sometimes I poke myself when I do this, so I do one needle at a time. I'm right here in front of the lucerna bicone. I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to go underneath right here, make a loop with my thread and pass through the loop twice, and bring this loop right here. I pop the thread in there and I slide that thread down, and then I pass through the 3mm and through the 11/0 seed bead. Okay, like that, and I tie another knot here. Very simple finishing off. Again, I always tie it twice. I feel like once is not really a knot. Okay, and then through the orange bead, tie another knot and go through the flower bead, and I just keep going, tying as many knots as I can because it makes the bracelet stronger, it reinforces it. And then I have to do the same thing to this side. I have to put my needle back onto that there. Remember, this bracelet here that I made, the beads that I used, are from the Sam's Bead Box Marigold Memory subscription, and I made this bracelet and this necklace with the box. So if you like both of these designs, I gotta zoom out, I'm way too close. if you like both of these designs, you can go get the box and make both of these, and they do kind of go together. They have the same colors in them. But yeah, and there's still a lot of leftover beads. So again, I will link this subscription box in case you would like to get it down there below in the description bar, and I have a coupon code to get $5 off the box. The coupon code is BEAD5, that is capital letters BEAD 5, and it will get you $5 off your first box. Alright, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, one other thing I would like to say, I miss seeing the designs that you guys make. If you make my designs, I would love to see them, and you can show me your designs on Instagram or X, because those are the two places that I am still on. Alright, and we are still collecting donations for a new video camera. If you would like to help, there's a couple ways you can donate. One way is through YouTube. Over here in the corner of the video is the full screen button. Below that is a circle with 3 dots. You can send money through YouTube for the camera, but YouTube takes like 30 or 40% of it. So the best way to donate is actually through Venmo or Cash App, and I will link both of those down there below in the description bar. And if you donate through there, all of the money goes to the video camera. Alright, so this is it. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. Make sure you click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos, and follow me on my social media sites. I'm on Instagram, Pinterest, and X. Thanks for watching.